Hey guys, it's Angel. I'm going to show you today how to achieve a marble look on a tumbler using India inks and alcohol inks and also a metallic additive or a mixative. It's fairly easy. Basically, I start out with a white tumbler that is spray painted in a matte white color. I use spray paint, but you can also use the primer. And then I kind of jumped ahead a little bit and did a little bit of mixing here. So you're going to need a base coat of epoxy, which I just mixed 30 mils just because I want to make sure I have enough while I'm showing you guys, but you can probably mix just a little bit less because we're going to add some epoxy also with our colors. So I just start by kind of smoothing it out as I go. This is my first video, so I'm kind of camera shy, so bear with me. Okay. And I'm messy. And then I just kind of smooth that out, make sure I get the bottom. Okay, we're pretty smooth, got a pretty good coat here. Don't get too concerned if you have a couple spots because we're going to smooth through it here in a little bit. Okay, next, what I have here is I've mixed some crimson India ink into about 20 mils of, so here's what I'm using. I'm using the Dr. P.H. Martin's Crimson India ink, and I've mixed it into about 20 mils of epoxy just so I have enough. No kind of rhyme or reason. It's kind of however much you guys think. I'm still playing with this a little bit. And so I just kind of start off and do little kind of back and forth. And the India inks are a little bit different than the alcohol inks because they kind of sink to the bottom. They don't really go anywhere. Your alcohol inks will kind of spread, but the India inks don't. And don't worry about it, you're just gonna try and get a little base coat here, so it's kind of, doesn't matter like your pattern. Make sure you get a little on the bottom. Okay. Pretty decent amount going there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I've also got, because I want to try and get a darker, deeper red color. I'd like to try and use it for like a Harry Potter cup background. So I've also got the crimson alcohol ink. And what that's going to do is give you a little bit more coverage. As you start putting it on here, you'll kind of see. And it'll start kind of spreading out. So I just make sure and hit my, especially my white spots, drip a little. I just try and do it like over the edge a little bit so you get the bottom of the cup. And we can always add more later too if we need it, but okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of smear that around, and then I'm going to add my metal mixative when I get to that point. So I just kind of start just like little figure eights, little S's, and smear that around. Till it's kind of mixed up. You want to cover as much of the white as you can. I mean, a little bit of it's okay, but Okay, and just make sure you're getting like your edges here, and then again on your bottom. Just kind of do some little figure eights. Okay. And then as you see it kind of go around, it'll start to kind of fill itself back in a little bit. And that's okay. And I think what I'm going to try and use on this one is, I was going to do a rose gold, but I'm kind of going back and forth. I think I'm going to stick with the silver. So I had already shook this up somewhat. I'm kind of shaking it back and forth again, but we're going to use the silver mixative. And this kind of floats on top a little bit, so that's why you also got to kind of do, that's kind of where I figured out how to use my finger to do some of this. And I just kind of put it sporadically. Looks like I'm just about back around. I don't go too crazy the first go around, because sometimes if you get too much, it will like dampen your colors so much you don't have the colors you're really looking for. That's kind of how I ended up with the pink one that I showed at the beginning. I started out with this crimson color, and once I got the silver all mixed in, it ended up being that pink color. So we'll kind of play with this one and see what we can get, and then if I have to, I'll add a little bit more color and see where we can get it to. Like I said, I'd like to keep it as red as possible so I can use it for a Gryffindor, Harry Potter background type thing. And I'm just figure eighting through it. And I just make sure I get all the little clumps of silver because it likes to pull together. I kind of like how this one's turning out. I'm gonna do, let me get another, forgot my bottom. Okay, so let's take a couple drips here. I'll do it on the bottom just a little bit. I haven't mastered the bottom yet. The bottoms, it's got pretty colors, but they're not as mixed as it gets on the top part. And I think what I'm gonna do is I might just, still kind of got a few colors here. I like it pooling down at the bottom here. I might just go ahead and do a couple more drips of the crimson just to kind of, and this is the alcohol ink. Usually once I get the India ink on there, I don't do a whole lot else with that. I'll either add the alcohol inks. Sometimes if it's not dark enough, I might add a little bit of black because the black kind of goes in there good with making it look kind of marbled look. We're just going to keep on swirling until we get all of our ink in there. And sometimes I just gotta stop and let it do a couple swirls here to see where we're at. Got a bunch of silver here. It's self-level, so even if you got like some white spots like that, for the most part, it'll go ahead and fill itself in as it turns. And sometimes I'll just stand here and watch it for a little while, because you can always still mess with it for a little bit. Let's run a little bit through here. Bring some of this silver down that we got up there. So just anytime I have it pooling like that, I'll just give it a couple swirls and try and drag it away from that one spot. And got a little action down here that doesn't look swirled. I have also taken and mixed, just like I did the India inks with the epoxy, and smoothed it on there if I knew I wanted it to be one color, and then added my alcohol inks to that. It worked okay. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it did work okay. And that's how I got that pink color at the beginning. That one I actually used, grab that. So this one here, I actually used the India ink mixed with the epoxy, and I smoothed it over, and it started out this crimson color, and then by the time I got done adding, we ended up with like this pink color, which I still like, and it'll sell, but I was looking for really looking for the crimson colors, like I said, so I could do the Harry Potter look. And I'm kind of liking the way it looks now. I think I got just enough of the silver in there. Let's see what we got here. I got like a little spot that's kind of pooling, so I'm just kind of a weird red color there. So let's give it a couple swirls. And that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll look to put on some more videos as soon as I can. I'm going to try and pick up the phone and show you a little closer. That's what we're looking like. I've also got a green one going here. And then on the other side, I've got my Harry Potter cup that is actually made out of fabric. And then I've got a teal cup that I'm working on. And that's it. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time. I'm Angel. Bye.